Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Dungeons & Dragons Golden Archives Owlbear. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging, and here we have some nice outline here. I mean, that's pretty cool looking. Golden Archive, got the digital render there of the figure and accessories. Some nice artwork here of the critter himself in the woods. And then here it says Owlbear, Dungeons & Dragons, 4 and up, Hasbro print. There's the assortment number in case you need it for something. Plastic-free packaging, except tape and glue. On the bottom, on this side, we've got small print, fine print, legalese print, made in Vietnam print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. Warning, attention! Octoon, don't stick things in any language pie hole that do not belong there. Don't give it to babies. Adult assembly required. And that's all in some other languages there, too, that I don't read. On this side, again, like, zoomed in on that artwork, and it's great looking in that, you know, from the front there. It comes around to the side. Owlbear. And it's, you know, the deco there at the bottom, too. And then on this side, this angle, the and sign from Dungeons & Dragons. A monstrous cross between giant owl and bear. The owlbear's reputation for ferocity and aggression makes it one of the most feared predators of the wild. There it is again in some other language. Parents! Scan this QR code, playdnd.com. And I'm guessing that's where that takes you. Here on the back, Dungeons & Dragons. And it shows you at 7.7 inches wide and 8.46 tall. There's the accessories. Art in the background. Digital render in the foreground, it looks like. Could all be digital, I guess. Enclosed figure and 2 accessories. Small fine legalese made in Vietnam print and a number. Plastic-free packaging. Except tape and glue. In case you forgot. And then there's that, I don't care, recycled Hasbro print. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and accessories. And let's start off with the accessories, if I can hold on to them. So there you go. Got some nice sculpt. Got some fur. You got some feathers. You got an in and out hinge up here. And then you got some paint for these nice sharp, well, they're not really sharp. They are, that one's kind of pointy though. And no paint on the pads though. So those look pretty good. And then here's the other one. And it's the same as the other one, only the opposite side. So I like those. And the fact that they plug in where the hands go, or the front paws, so that he can get down on all fours. That's pretty cool, at least to me. Well, let's take a look at the figure itself. And this is, you know, everything is reused from the Owlbear Doric mold, except for the head. The head is a new piece, and of course, you know, different paints on it. So let's talk about the deco on here. I'm not sure what color this is molded in. I'm pretty sure it's this, and then these are all paint apps, and around the eyes themselves, the beak, inside the beak, And just, I love those uplifted like eyebrows there. It kind of looks like the wise old owl before he comes to, you know, eat you, because he's a bear. And, you know, not much deco going on the back. However, he does have on the back sides of the arms, he does have some paint apps here on the feathers, and those are on the front of them too. But let's finish, and it's got like some sprays on here where it kind of fades in places. And then it's got, I'm assuming this is some kind of tampo on there, and it looks appropriate that this is the only place that appears on the figure. However, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more shading on this one, because the brown plastic is a little bit glossy, and, you know, so it kind of, it does look kind of plasticky. Now the chest up here where all the paint and stuff is, it doesn't as much. And, you know, even on the back, it looks like, you know, a little bit of color in there. It's still a bit shiny. And I'm sure there's some stuff you can spray on that to make it not so shiny. But overall, I have to say, you know, it's pretty good mold, and I like this one. I like this one better than the white one. Although the white one's still pretty cool, but I think this one is better. Now these flaps here are pinned in with the arm pegs, so that's cool. And then we've got some deco here on the front paws or claws, and I like the way that these are shaped, because they can hold some, you know, bigger items, and, you know, maybe also a standard size figure's leg or something, you know, swinging them around in the air, because he's a mad owlbear. And then these, you know, the claws, nothing on the bottoms of the feet, unfortunately, but, you know, like this goes all the way down this side of the leg, this paint app does. So, yeah, overall, I think it has a good look to it. It's just like this part right here just kind of stands out, because it's very, very shiny, and there's nothing to kind of break up all of that. On the arms and the legs, you know, and the chest, you know, it gets broken up a bit, but I just kind of wish it had been broken up here a little bit as well. Let's talk about his articulation. And all right, this piece is on a post that's in a slot, so it's like, it's kind of like a hinge and ball, I guess. So there is that, and then a dumbbell for the head. So it can look up this high, it can look down this far. It does have chicken neck. It does have a little bit of waggle, and can do the full exorcist, because it's an owl. It's part owl. At the shoulders, it is on a butterfly. You don't get much out of it, so it goes back that far, and it goes forward that far. So it's not great. It's not horrible, but it's not great. 360-degree rotation there, and lots of detents in this thing. He can raise his arm up. Is that it? No, there we go. Past 90 degrees. So that's pretty good. Single hinge and swivel at the elbow. Now the feathers do kind of get in the way of the swivel a bit, so just be aware of that. But it will swivel 360 degrees, and you get about that much bend out of it. Not even close to 90 really, and you only get a little bit of a gap here in the feathers when you do that. So there is that. That works better. At the wrist or ankle, whatever you want to call it, 360-degree rotation, and it's on an in and out hinge as well, but really doesn't really do much. Now there's a dumbbell here at the waist. It gives him all kinds of hula. And a 360 degree rotation as well. At the hips, gives you that much of the split, so not bad, not great, but not bad. And then kicks forward that far, kicks back about that far, single hinge and swivel at the knee, spins around 360 degrees, and gives you approximately that much bend. So, not great, not bad, just kind of there. So, at the ankle, it doesn't really tilt back much because of the sculpt coming down. It will tilt forward that far, which again isn't much, but it's more than you get back. And then it does have some slight tilt, but it's really hindered by the sculpt. So, there you have it, my friends. A look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Dungeons & Dragons Golden Archive Owlbear with the Marvel Legends series Ursa Major Build-A-Figure from the Ursa Major Build-A-Figure wave, and the Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves Golden Archive Doric as Owlbear. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Dungeons & Dragons Golden Archive Owlbear, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee. From G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander. From Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper. And for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Dungeons & Dragons Golden Archive Owlbear, I have to say it's a pretty good figure for the most part. This one has some very nice paint applications or tampos, whatever the case may be. And it does come off looking just slightly cartoony, but not too bad. I can see this figure fitting in several lines, maybe Masters of the Universe, Mythic Legions, Cartoon Classics, Dungeons & Dragons. I don't think they ever ran into this guy. Maybe even the NECA Dungeons & Dragons. But I like the face sculpt of this one. I like the paint on the face and the eyes. He just kind of gives that wise old owl look that's coming to eat your guts, because he's big and half bear. And the fact that it comes with some flat front paws in addition to these, the grip hand or claws, whatever you want to call it, that's on it now, where he can assume an all fours position, like he's, running on all fours like a bear. I think that was a great addition to this figure. And, I honestly think this one looks better than the white version. I think the colors do a much better job on this one. And, I like it. I'm glad I picked this one up. Because, I was only going to pick one of them up, but after I got one, I was like, well, I'd like the pair. So, I ended up picking up both of them. And This one I think is the better one out of the two. And I like it, and it's going to have a pretty good place in my display, hopefully. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.